All right. Hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. With me, as always, is Jake Vevra, stand-up comedian in New York City. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. Joining us today, wearing the ugliest shirt I have ever fucking seen, is Andy Fisher repping the Vikings up in Minnesota. Hello, Andy.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. All right, before we start making fun of the news, we have to I don't want to say make fun of Jake, but we have to talk about Jake. Jake, we have a troll that likes to comment on our videos and just all he does. But I received a comment on one of our podcasts from a couple weeks ago, and it wasn't our troll. It was Rosh Boy TV, which I checked out. It seems to be an urban channel on YouTube. And the comment is, yeah, true. I love Jake's voice and face. Oh, Jake, you've got a fan.
Hell yeah. That's right, dude. I should be repping my own beauty products or something. You know, you too could look like this with just a little bit of, I don't know, well liquor and carbs. Try my 90-day plan. You'll see your hair will start falling out. Everything's going to happen.
Steve Buscemi in his 20s look.
That's right. Young, sexy Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Looking like Beetlejuice when he was alive. Yeah.
All right. Where should we start? Let's start with good news. Let's jump right in. Going once, going twice. Alex Jones's cameras, mics, InfoWars show, vitamin site, all up for sale. His $1 billion settlement. He said they'd never see a penny of it. Well, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's InfoWars show is likely to be shut down within a few months after a federal bankruptcy judge ruled Tuesday that plans to sell off the assets of his media company, Free Speech Systems, can move forward. That's a nice little moment, right? It will never be rid of him. He'll be like us, podcasting in his basement. But I watched a small clip of him crying and saying they're taking everything from him. I maybe it's only me, but do you think he's ever had a moment where he's self-reflected and just for one split second thought, maybe I shouldn't have been an asshole for all these years? Just a complete.
Nah, I'm Team Alex. The lizard, those goddamn lizard people finally won. Fucking reptiles.
One of the punishment was that they make him eat a salad on camera. Like that's it. Just he seems like the kind of guy that hurts, you know, some rainbow colored croutons.
You'd have to put a steak on it. It'd be, like when Homer Simpson went on a diet and was eating rice cakes and just piled it full of, he'd put a hamburger on the salad.
Yeah. Everybody cheats with salad these days. It's like, look, it's healthy because it's got lettuce and it's covered in ranch dressing and all kinds of like chemical goopy trans fat that came out of a factory somewhere.
So what do you think the next step is for him? So he doesn't have a studio. He just gets a microphone and he puts it out and so they're selling his vitamin store. I'm sure there'll be someone out. He won't have the millions of dollars he had, but he'll be fine. He'll do a Patreon and people will pay him to continue to spew his shit. I think he's sad because he's losing the majority of his money. But it's not like his life is over. He'll just do this at a smaller scale, and maybe he'll build it back up and have to continually pay off the debt. You know, it's one of those things where it'd be like child support, where they're going to garnish his wages. Whatever he earns, he has to either hide or pay off because he was an asshole his entire life. Andy, go ahead.
I was going to say they'll keep taking the money from him. No matter what hopefully, I saw a thing he would hide assets already, which, I mean, good for him. He's a competent human being. Knows what's coming, but he's not gonna get away from it. All right, isn't that the idea?
I feel bad for Alex because he had the InfoWars studio and all that. They're taking that. Now he's reduced to podcasting out of his own home like us, and it's not right. It's not right that Alex Jones has been reduced to our level.
Yeah, you feel like nice camera lights give him credibility, right? You sound like
That's
a
right.
When you're talking into a webcam.
I think
Go
Jake has always said the best thing about Alex is, and I've never heard anyone but Jake say this. So, Andy, if you've heard this, let me know, because Jake is the only person
I honestly don't know what you're going to say.
Well,
I don't know.
because it made sense the first time you ever said it. It seemed like it just was off the cuff. He's not serious about anything he says. When he's talking about how the government's doing this and the world is ending, oh, but hold on a second. Let me pitch you these vitamins. If he really thought the world was ending or that aliens were, he wouldn't be hawking vitamins. He would be sounding the alarm without a commercial break. But he would always really ramp up that fevered pitch and then pause for a moment to sell Amway or Herbalife or whatever the fuck he's selling, and then go back to ranting. Like, it's an Oscar caliber for performance to be able to just get really fucking worked up and so fucking angry. Hold on a second. I'd like to talk about bottled water. You need water. Anyway,
Yeah,
the fucking
I remember
government,
this now.
the transitions, the switches, he could turn it
Because
on and off.
The guy, he's talking about how, I mean, really wild shit, like aliens are running the Pentagon, crazy thing. There's like aliens in charge of the New World Order, and they're going to take over the whole country and the whole world. And there's all kinds of, if everything the man was saying was true, Alex Jones would be a more important character than like Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Will Smith in
Combined.
You know what I mean? It'd all be rolled into one. And so it's weird when you hear a guy like that giving a speech about we need to do something to fight back against this onslaught of secret vampire aliens that are running the country and eating children. But first, you got to buy this. It would be as if in the middle of like everybody
I have a dream.
Right. Everybody reveres Martin Luther
hanged.
King's speeches.
It's the powder of astronauts.
Yeah, right. If in the middle of the mountaintop speech, he goes, you know what was also on the mountaintop? Ginseng root. Guys, try my new I Have a Dream brand supplements. And it would be weird. It would have fucked up the whole thing. It would have made it be like, do you really care about getting voting rights? Or are you just trying to make money off ginseng extract? What are you doing here? Is your name really Martin Luther King? Come on now.
That's always been a grift. 100%. See that all breaks kid did a had a segment we went with Alex Jones. That was the whole story behind the cameras. Is it's out front with just a grift. We're just here to sell product. Everything else is the bait on the hook.
Jake, are you getting a double skip from Andy?
Yeah. The audio's kind of.
So what you're doing is every time you talk, it skips and jumps and repeats. Why don't you jump out and jump back in and see if that'll fix it?
I think it could be it. Yeah, that's probably.
Jake, what we're going to segue to, Andy, is I didn't send you the news story, but speaking of insane, Rosanne Barr was on Tucker Carlson's.
Saw it.
We've talked. It's just sad because she admitted it in her childhood. She was hit by a car. She legit has brain damage. So to prop her up, and she's talking about vampires and eating brains and drinking blood, and she's being literal, but people laugh. It's sad. She legitimately has brain damage. She might believe these things. I don't know that she's like Alex Jones, who might believe them but also wants to sell things. She's been hit on that. She's like Brett Favre, just without the Parkinson's.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've heard her in long form interviews and stuff, and you listen to it. I really don't like. I think she got too much shit for what she did because it's like you knew that was her before you gave her the fucking show back. Yeah. So don't act, and that's why she got fired so quick. Is they if Jimmy Fallon would have tweeted the same thing that she did. I'm not saying nothing would have happened, but I think probably nothing would have happened. Maybe they would have got suspended, but there would have, even if they would have fired Jimmy Fallon for what she tweeted, there would have at least been a conversation with her. I think it was a thing to where it's like, okay, listen, we're giving you the show back, but we know you're a problem. So like, don't tweet anything fucking crazy. If we're throwing like Disney money behind you, you can't tweet anything crazy. First time it happens, I don't care how big the infraction is, how small it is. You're done, so she tweeted that shit. And I think for her to be fired within 3 hours at like 1 a.m., I mean, it was the executives just got the phone call like, hey, the goose has shit the nest. Put the motions in place, and it was like they knew they were going to do that the first time she slipped up because she had such a tendency to tweet wild shit. If it was literally anybody else in entertainment, well, I don't want to say nobody else.
No. Let me
else with a
interrupt.
history of tweeting wild shit, they would have at least had to have a conversation before they fired her, and it would have been, oh, we're taking a step back. It would have taken at least a few days.
You know why you're right? Because around the exact same time that happened, Bill Maher dropped the N-bomb on his show in a joke where he said, they were talking about election. And he said, hey, we need you out in the fields working. He goes, no, I'm a house N. He dropped the N, and they even the next day had to use him. But Real Time didn't get canceled. Bill Maher didn't get canceled. He actively made the comment and dropped the N-bomb. He didn't do I didn't know she was, he didn't do a Planet of the Apes. He dropped. Not fired,
and like HBO's a different thing.
It is, and
like
Bill Maher is a
ABC
different thing from Roseanne. But I'm just saying, what if it comes to harshness and punishment?
The machine behind Bill Maher is different than the machine behind Roseanne at the time, because they own Disney too, and they're like, we're not getting fucking Disney boycotted for anything. We will scrap this. We will nail this
grooming and transgender
execution
that's what
style
they want
and
to
shoot
get
it in the head.
boycotted
Wait,
for.
what? Sorry, I was talking. What's
Except
up?
for grooming and transgender, that's what Disney wants to get boycotted for is grooming and pedophilia.
Yeah, that's about it. It's pretty wild, but it makes sense. I mean, I get why they did it. I'm more on ABC for if you were gonna give her the show back with those type of stipulations, like all you would have had to do is just kind of listen to a few interviews to know, like, oh, she's a little out there. She's kind of not all there all the time. So
put
maybe
it in the contract. You don't get Twitter. Hey, you're going to sign this contract. You have to delete your Twitter account.
Or you can tweet, but here's the way we're doing it. We have control of your Twitter account. You send the things to like an associate producer, anything you want to tweet, and anything this associate producer finds problematic, anything at all. And she just graduated from Berkeley. She's got like short green hair. Like anything she finds problematic is not going on your fucking Twitter account. No, we don't do this for everyone, Roseanne, but you're not everyone. So hand over your fucking password to Sheila there. Sorry, whatever the fuck her name is now. Hand over the passwords now.
That's it. That's all I got to call her.
What's up?
Firewall. That doesn't fucking matter. She's Firewall of it.
That's her name.
Exactly.
Your assistant is now just called Firewall.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know why they didn't do that, but on the flip side, I'm like, I don't know why everybody flipped out and got so mad at Roseanne, like the public.
Well, it was around the same time as what didn't I'm once it's yesterday, it's gone from my brain, so I just conflate everything.
A long time ago.
Was it around the same time as George Floyd? Like, were we in a hypersensitive mood?
There wasn't.
I think it was way before that.
Okay, I don't know. Because everything was hypersensitive then, so you couldn't even make. But still, the idea of Planet of the Apes and African Americans has always been the touchiest issue outside of the N-bomb. So,
but here's the thing: I believe Roseanne. I think that she thought she was white or a little more ethnically ambiguous.
Because as we said, she's fucking brain damaged.
Well, she's brain damaged. And look, man, I don't know a great deal about every single one of Obama's cabinet members. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just look at the picture and you make a quick judgment. And I think if you Googled her, I remember Googling her at the time and looking at the picture and going, yeah, dude, I wouldn't necessarily think that she was African American, but I think she has a little bit too much of an ethnically ambiguous look for me to throw around ape references for sure. So it was still a dumb fucking thing to say, but I do believe her in that she thought that she was white. Cause it's like, yeah, I could look at that and go like, yeah, she kind of looks Italian or whatever. Like she's got a bit of an ethnically ambiguous look. And that said, you probably shouldn't throw around ape references unless it's somebody who's whiter than eggshells. That's that's just my kind of go-to there.
You can't go to Italy or Sicily either with those references because we all know from True Romance and Christopher Walken and Dennis Hopper what happens.
Now that was a really racist scene. That's true. You want true 100% authentic, grass-fed, intentional racism. Watch that scene.
Yeah. Andy, you were gone. You got any thoughts on Roseanne? I guess our basic, if you've picked it up, is that I mean, as you heard it before you reset, she's literally got brain damage. She got hit by a car. So
yeah,
I have a small amount of sympathy for her because not for her sake, because she gets propped up like on Tucker Carlson or on other shows as a voice of legit. I can't tell if they're making fun of her or using her as a voice of legitimacy. and neither one is right. You can't prop her up as a legitimate voice, and you shouldn't make fun of her because she has genuine issues. What are your thoughts?
The wilder she gets, people engage with it, right?
Yeah.
And they definitely know that when they're putting her on a platform and her with a stick going like say some awful shit, like we're gonna be the talk of the town for a week. And I think everybody behind the scenes could help her, curb those edges a little bit. Hell no, they lean into it. Absolutely. And she, like you said, brain damage. Like she's been off her rocker for a while. So
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody who takes Rosanne too serious, anything she's got to say too much value is doing it wrong, right? She has been a comedian who is now hawking, like pulling like political extreme. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah. All right. Next story. Let's get out of politics just for a second. I only sent you the story because I stumbled across it and then I watched it grow. And the more it grew, it was just astounding to me. Well, let's start right. I don't have the original story. It says Janet Jackson's apology for Kamala Harris comments was not approved by artists. So to back up, Janet Jackson was giving an interview, and in the interview, she said, quote, oh, that's the apology. Well, she's not black. That's what I heard, that she's Indian, she told The Guardian. When the reporter clarified that Harris is both black and South Asian, Jackson responded, her father's white. That's what I was told. I mean, I haven't watched the news in a few days. I was told they discovered her father was white. Okay, why they're asking Janet Jackson anything, much less about politics, but the fact she is an encapsulation of the American voter. You see these polls. I'm getting tired of all people tweeting about how is this race so close? It's because of racism, Kamala and it's not. People are fucking stupid. Roseanne's brain damaged, got hit by a car. Janet Jackson's your average voter, and they're fucking dumb. Is Janet Jackson racist because she was repeating, I thought she was Indian? Janet Jackson's, let's see, black. And so that's the beginning of it. Then her manager issued a statement saying, hey, she's sorry, which would have been the way to go. Like, hey, I didn't mean that. But then she issues a statement. That guy was not allowed to apologize on my behalf. And then the next day that guy is fired. It's just bizarre, the lives of celebrities, where you give an interview, then someone has to cover for you, and then you don't like the cover. Andy, jump in. You go first since you were. Did you have any thoughts? Like I said,
I think it's part of all that.
But the sheer fact that this is what is in my news feed.
Yeah. That constitutes news. Like Janet Jackson fired her for apologizing out of like the funniest part to me is that. Like this manager just did the obvious correcting, right? Like, yeah. oh, we're sorry. And Janet went, what the fuck did you just say? Did you speak for me? Shut up. You're fired. These people are so damn out of touch with reality. It's comedy action right there for us for free. I don't want to go too deep on that shit.
Yeah, I think I was on Janet Jackson's side completely for not knowing anything about Kamala Harris until she fired that dude. Now, there could have been more shit behind the scenes that went on. There could have been a drop down, drag out fight over this. And like, you never know what happens behind the scenes with people that work closely together. Like, so I will try to give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there. It looks really bad. And just because the apology that he gave was such a milquetoast cookie cutter apology. It was, hey, sorry about this.
Here, I'll read it.
Let me
read it. She deeply respects Vice President Kamala Harris and her accomplishments as a black and Indian woman. Janet apologizes for any confusion caused and acknowledges the importance of accurate representation in public discourse. That's a fucking ChatGPT apology right there. Here's the thing.
I believe
the Will Smith apology for smacking Chris Rock.
I believe Roseanne when she said that she thought Valerie Jarrett was white, and I believe Janet Jackson when she said that she thought Kamala Harris was half white. You know what I mean? Like, these people aren't. Janet Jackson isn't running for anything. It's not her job to keep up on every little thing policy-wise. Certainly not the father of the vice president and current nominee. She's not supposed to know this shit. She's not supposed to be voting on whether she's half white or half Indian or half black, like whatever. So it's like, why is she supposed to be an expert in these things? It's not a, this is the media taking something that was like a 1.2 out of 10 and going like, can you believe she didn't know the exact racial makeup of the vice president? What is she, Hitler? Like, what do you, I mean, no, that's crazy. But then it just, okay, they're freaking out. As the manager, I'm just going to do my job, do her a solid here, and give her the most cookie cutter apology. That, sorry, she thinks the vice president's great. You know, just didn't look up her 23andMe score. You know, like I don't know. She heard a thing. She looked at the picture, whatever. But for her to go, how dare you? You were going to say what? What were you going to say? If you're going to fire that dude for the apology, I mean, you should probably be pretty upfront with like, here's what I was going to say. If she would have fired the guy for the apology and been like, I was going to tell the media to go fuck itself for getting its pennies in the bunch and coming after me, an aging pop star who's doing what aging pop stars should do. I'm getting high and drunk in a mansion. All right. I'm banging dudes half my age. Do you think Madonna knows the racial makeup of every single person that's ever been in office? No, she's fucking a 20-year-old backup dancer. That's what I'm going to go back to doing because I am one of the queens of pop. I am on the Mount Rushmore of pop. I should be getting dicked down by backup dancers, not getting shit for what I do and don't know about the ethnic backgrounds of people in office. Good day, sir. That if she came out with that, I would be like, fuck yeah, dude. Janet Jackson's the queen.
Yeah. I had two thoughts. One was a realization, which I'll get to in a second. First of all, I'll apologize. When I say Janet Jackson is your average voter, she's not. She's your average low IQ American. I'll grant her that. But she is what you said. She's fucking wealthy as fuck. She doesn't need to pay attention to anything. She has
she doesn't care. I don't think that she's dumb. I think she just doesn't care.
You know, that too. I think it's a combination of both. But more importantly, okay, it's not an apples to apples Roseanne thing. But Janet Jackson, when you said, yeah, she's a pop legend, she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I watched her acceptance speech. You watch that and you're like, oh, there's not a lot going on upstairs. If you have all this time to prepare for a speech that you're going to give, it's not like, hey, you're getting inducted tomorrow. It's you have weeks and months to prepare for this. If that is what she did, if that is your best, then an off the cuff interview. Hey, what do you think of Kamala Harris? Well, she's Indian, right? Like you're not a comedian dealing with hecklers, so you can't. It's a Sarah Palin gotcha question. What do you read? Newsweek, the newspaper? I don't know. Everything's a gotcha question when you're not that smart.
Yeah, her answer should have been, I'm a pop singer pushing 60. Why the fuck are you asking me about politics? That should have been, and it's like, if you don't like the answer you get, if she didn't give an Anderson Cooper level answer, well, it's like, what they got different jobs, don't they? Like, fuck off. She's not Rachel Maddow. She's Janet Jackson,
On the flip side, fuck Anderson Cooper. I don't know if you saw that clip of him last year go viral where they showed him all the football team logos and he couldn't name a single one. He's like the Texas he just got cows, like he could. And so if you're going to be in the news and informed, you should know fucking everything. It shows that you're out of touch with the common man, is that you don't know.
Yeah, but he should be out of touch with the common man.
He's gay.
He's the grandson of a Vanderbilt who does the news. He doesn't watch football. He watches fancy ass. He watches that sport with the guys on the horses and the mallets. That's what he's fancy as fuck, dude. This guy is like upper level, top rung of society, the upper crust there. He's not supposed to be in the fucking stands with a Chiefs jersey on. He's supposed to be like in the skybox of like Wimbledon. Like that's more his thing. Like I'll bet he can name a lot of tennis players. I can't. He's a fancy fucking dude. He's on CNN and he's the grandson of the Vanderbilts.
And gay.
And
anyway.
Well, there you go. What do you know what I mean? Like, what do you can't You can't ask the gay grandson of a Vanderbilt a bunch of hard football questions and then get mad when he doesn't know the answer. That's like getting mad at Janet Jackson for not knowing politics. It's bullshit.
And I
want
to flip here because you said something that made me think of this. I didn't send you any links, so hopefully you've seen it or paid attention or caught wind of it. I've tangentially sort of read about it, but I didn't. So you said you shouldn't be asking a 60-year-old pop star about politics. I agree. Why the fuck are we asking 19-year-old pop stars about politics? I can't think of her name now. Rowan, who's the most popular little drag queen woman?
Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan, right.
Yeah.
She just went through a week of shit because I mean, I watched I read her words and I watched her TikTok. She seems like a genuinely like teenage, uninformed. I why do we care what someone so young that has no life experience thinks just because they put out an album people like? Why does everything have to go to politics? Hey, you're on stage performing. Who are you voting for? Why do we fucking care? Andy, go ahead.
I mean,
Sure. I saw things her from Missouri, right? I mean, why you getting surprised that somebody from Missouri, right? Like if you step in Missouri and go, hey, maybe we don't kill homeless people, they're like, oh, you fucking live, right? Like it's you're not get fair and balanced, nationally tested idea from somebody from Missouri. Let's be flat out brass tacks and honest, you know. And then on top of that, 19 years old. When I was 19 years old, I couldn't have told you like, how do I pay my taxes? I didn't do that till I was like 25. So who gives a shit? You right? Like,
yeah, I mean, again, she's not famous for political stuff, so why, you know, you can't get mad at her. And that's not to say that you can't be politically engaging or you can't be involved in that stuff if you're at that level. You know, there's there's the Bonos and Sean Penns of the world, you know what I mean? But for every one of those, there's about 1,000 other celebrities who are like, hey, I got famous for doing this thing because I spend all my time doing this thing, not sitting around reading fucking Newsweek or whatever.
And that's what I was gonna like. Whenever you see these actors that win Oscars, and 90% of them give the shittiest speeches because words weren't given to them. They can act, but they spend their whole life with one focus, and we expect them to have this breadth of knowledge because they're on a TV screen or a movie screen, therefore they must be gods among us that know better than us. No, they have this very narrow window that they're very good at. That they're very good because, like you just said, they dedicated their life to it. One day they picked up an instrument or got the bug to act and just went, that's what I'm doing. I read a lot of music biographies. They all fucking drop out of school. They all fucking like at some point said, I ditched class and dropped out of school. They're the Stings, Bonos, and Peter Gabriel's, the actual like educated. And I noticed I named 3 European, you know, like that actually like Genesis was formed in university. Sting was a teacher. They don't take studies all that seriously.
That's right. And even Sting, he doesn't know. He can't tell you the exact ethnic makeup of Kamala Harris because he was busy fucking for 18 hours straight yesterday. He didn't sit there Wikipediaing this stuff either.
All right. That's the kind of answer he'd give you too. If you about Kamala Harris, he'd be like, I don't fucking care. I gotta go put cream on my like.
That's right. That's right. He would look at that camera and be like, I wasn't following politics at all for the last 20 years because I was stocking up with more baby oil than Diddy. So I'm going to go back to my tantric fuck compound and, bang one age appropriate consenting woman. Sure. But I'm going to do it for like, a marathon amount of time.
All right, Andy, one thing Jake and I have been following for the past few weeks is we have a jealousy / love affair with Donald Trump because every week he puts out new merch and most of it is just brilliant. We were a little let down by the t-shirt because it's just a t-shirt. It's kind of basic. A little let down by the commemorative coin because it's just a commemorative coin. Love the NFTs, love the crypto. This next thing, he put out watches this week, the Trump watch. And first of all, it's beautiful, but I sent a link. Someone went through the frequently asked questions on this watch. And as the Bill Gruskin, he tweeted, it's glorious and it's no lie. Will I be getting the exact watch I see on the site? Images are for illustration purposes only. What is the return policy? There are no refunds. They're not intended for water exposure. Don't get it wet. What's the service warranty? Couple of years limited. Is any of the money from this collection going to the Trump campaign? No. Get Trump watches is not, has nothing to do with it. Has nothing to do with Donald Trump or the Trump organization. They leased the Trump name and just sell it under it. Will it be autographed? You will get a replica of his autograph. And then the best part, when will they ship? This is literally, first of all, it's genius. And it's so genius because they've been building to it. They put out the crypto. They put out this is the most blatantly obvious way for Russian oligarchs to funnel money to the Trump campaign. I'm buying $100,000 Timex watch that they, slapped Trump over the Timex. They kept the T and just put TIMEX Trump. I mean, it's genius. I wonder if there's anybody investigating it now, or because
I think the
grip
investigation's
started
done.
small. Hey, stupid poor people, buy a commemorative coin like you used to buy Elvis shit.
Yeah.
Now this is blatantly, we need money funneling in that we can use. What a beautiful way to do it, because it also says they're going to take cryptos. Like, you can pay an untraceable crypto. This is just funneling money to Trump. And I wish I was him. I wish I could just say whatever the fuck I want and have people throw money at me.
As far as $100,000 watch, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it says right in the FAQ, this could probably is just a box of shit, right? Like, you're buying a Rolex like it's coming from Temu, but at some point they either got to admit that every rich person in the world is just dumb as hell, or this dirty shit going on behind, right? Like, so obviously for Russian money, stuff like that, right? But the best part is it doesn't go to anybody on paper, right? That's something to do with dodging the judge he had from, like, the case in New York where he $1 billion judgment he's still got to pay out, or is that deadline?
Well, yeah, or like political donations, they there's paper trails, they know who they're from, that kind of thing. Whereas this is just some fucking dude, with a credit card number from who knows where,
and wanted a shitty watch.
I don't think it's anybody wanting watches. I think it's literally just a way to get money. I think it's just hey, we'll sell you a watch. It's just a way to funnel money because it says right on there, this has nothing to do with Trump. Whatever it's kind of like Trump, not crypto, the Truth Social stock, where there's no risk to him. All he does is leases his name. So if the stock is worth $50, it's great. If it's worth 15, it's great because it's found money. They say, hey, we're going to sell watches. You give us your name. We'll give you, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, 70%, whatever it is. Even if they only take 10%, if they say you get 90%, it's all found money. And as it says, he doesn't have to do fuck all with it. He doesn't have to go down ballot. He doesn't have to do political. He can pay off settlements. He can pay off litigation, lawyers' fees.
He can pay hookers to pee.
Yes.
On beds that Obama slept on.
He can do it.
That's successful and dumb and specific that happened. That's not I don't think that's a conspiracy theory at all. That happened. That bastard did it. I love it.
Yeah, because everybody kept talking about the pee tapes, and it sort of got morphed into, there's hookers peeing on them. But, like, no, the original allegations was he paid Russian hookers to piss on a bed that Obama stayed on. And I'm like, hey, man, that's actually kind of some cool baller shit to do. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's kind of awesome. If there was a comic I didn't like and I was staying in the comedy condo, I would be like, dude, I'm not staying on this bed. That fucking prop comic hack stayed on this bed. Hooker, you want to make an easy $100? Here, chug this gallon of water and then piss all over the remnants and the pheromones of a goddamn hack proc comic.
No.
Come on now.
Drink this water and eat a bunch of asparagus and go nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she'd be like, ain't you gonna masturbate? You're like, nah, it's not sexual to me. This is genuine hatred in my heart for that fucking hack that was staying in this the weekend before me.
All right. We're running out of time. One more quick story. We don't have time to talk about it, but my God, every so often we mention what a complete asshole RFK is, and this week just showed that every time you think he's done, that he's reached peak asshole, he finds a way to level up. Well, a couple weeks ago, he was trying to get his name taken off ballots in swing states because he knew that it would hurt Trump. So he's like, no, no, I'm suspending my campaign, take my name off the ballot. And dumb people were saying, oh, they're making him keep his name on the ballot. Yeah, it's called the deadline, and he missed it. Well, this week, because he knows that Trump has no shot in New York, he's fighting to get his name put on the ballot in New York because fuck you, you inconsistent hypocrite asshole. Not inconsistent. It is consistent to say where I can hurt Trump, I want to be removed. Where I can help. It's just amazing that he. I want to know what happened in his life that made him throw in and say, "Fuck it, I'm going full asshole."
A worm ate happen. I mean,
I
how does
suppose,
anybody
yeah, it
survive
could be that simple.
I don't care that you're a Kennedy. That is like that's disqualifying to any sane person. A worm ate brain. A guy said that like, dude, you don't have to be my janitor. My kids, like, fuck off, man. We should have homes for people like that. But this one gets president because stooge in support of a different candidate just because he's a Kennedy.
Yeah.
I like Robert Kennedy. I think he seems like he'd be a fun hang. Now, a terrible president. Normally, the best hangs would make the best leaders. You know what I mean? Like, your friend that's the most fun hang, you're the most fun dude to party with. You would never call up and be like, hey, I've got serious problems in my life, you know? And can you fix him out? You know what I mean? He's getting blown at a strip club. There's a severed whale head on the top of his car while he's doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, we're going to have a fun, crazy night. We're gonna do cocaine and kill a bear and go to Peter Luger's. It'd be the best night of your life, hanging with Robert Kennedy. But like, yeah, you probably wouldn't want to vote for him for president, though. I mean, he's a little fucking nuts. That's pretty crazy. I think it's more like an ego thing to where, like, you know, he grew up in this. I mean, he was maybe like what 12 when his father was killed. So, hey, that's stressful on its own. Dramatic. But then there's like the ego of it to where like he can remember being part he can remember being part of the Kennedy family when it was like peak Kennedy, right? Now it's kind of gone downhill. You know what I mean? Like some chick drowned in a lake, and then Ted was getting drunk, and it was just all this. They kind of, the stock is plummeted. And now he's like, but I should get all this respect. I should, and then his own family probably shit on him a lot before then, just for being crazy.
Not probably. They did it openly. Jake, I got to cut you off because we are out of time. The last thing I'll say.
Before that, but yeah, go ahead.
I wish I was Tim Pool because he unironically tweeted that Paramore went on an award show and blasted Trump, and he said, "Wow, that sucks. I've been a fan of Paramore forever. It's a shame she decided to push misinformation without research like this." The guy who last week was literally found out to be pushing Russian information for money. That's hilarious. All right. I can be found at nathantimmel.com. Jake can be found at Jake Vevra on social media. Andy, even though your audio stutters, quick promote yourself.
At best, Andy, at any of the socials. Check it out.
At Fast Andy. Did I hear that correctly? Best Andy. Yeah, see, that's the problem, is that you can hear it twice. But all right, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll do it again, but with actual audio. Thanks for tuning in.
Janet Jackson just tweeted that the CIA killed RFK Jr.